Hey, we're back here, podcast number 3, Natural Sponge and Friends. We want to thank everyone that has listened so far to both podcasts we put out. Still working on the Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, apparently Google podcasts as well. Getting all that stuff. We're rookies over here, guys, so hang with us. Keep listening on YouTube. We love it. Keep getting interactive on Instagram and Twitter. Posted a poll yesterday for should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame. 1,000% is my vote, but we'll get into that at some point through this. I want to talk about, as always, at Cure Gervais Syndrome, at Cure Gervais on Twitter. Make sure you guys check that out. Look at the foundation doing a lot for kids that have Gervais Syndrome. Also, as always, Natural Sponge and Friends is powered by Diamond Wizards Baseball here in South Carolina. With us today is one of the original OG Zards, one of my favorite guys of all time, number 23 gang himself. I was 23 as well, if you guys listened to it last time. The 23 gang is in the building. Little Khalil green hair, Khalil green flow, was a stud at shortstop back in his day. Now a student at Coastal Carolina University in Conway, South Carolina. Konnor Walters, what's up, brother?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. I'm glad to have you. Just so you know, your brother Kurt is now in the Diamond Wizards Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Which nobody cares about. We care about it, though, right?
We did.
I loved his text. He sent me back and said now there's 2 number 42s in the Hall of Fame. So you got Jackie Robinson and Kurt Walters. Kurt will be on here at some point as well very soon. Konnor Walters, obviously, not even a question. He knows. Well, he doesn't know. He will know now that next year he will be in the Diamond Wizards Hall of Fame. Should have been first ballot. Should have put more guys. You could just put all the guys in at once, but you got to make it fun for the fans. So,
there's a few I should have been over, but that's
oh yeah, for sure. But thanks for coming, man. How's the summer going?
Good. Just working. Been going to the beach, relaxing.
Gotcha. You got that surfer haircut. You got that surfer haircut going on. I like it. Do you surf?
No, I'm not surfing.
I hear you. Not at all.
Not even a little.
Have you ever tried?
Nope.
Now, you used to do a lot of sport. When I first met you, you were what, like 11, 12?
Yeah.
And so I just remember, like, Konnor would walk into the X gym, and he would have, like, his baseball stuff. He would have a basketball and a skateboard. Or, like not a skateboard. Like a reindeer or something.
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
were like a...
Yeah, that's what it was.
You were like a... so what all did you play in high school?
High school, just baseball. I was going to play some basketball, but I decided not to.
Gotcha. Is it because you're what, 6'2" now? Like,
yeah.
All these guys that I coached back in the day, they show up here at the crib and they're way bigger than me, height-wise, not belly-wise, but way bigger than me with the height. So, so we were talking just a little bit ago downstairs. This is a great story. Anybody's listening to this and applying for colleges, be sure to listen to this and take this from the heart. So you're going to Coastal Carolina University. You'll be a sophomore there this fall. You got an apartment, you said?
Yes, sir.
No dogs allowed.
No, there's dogs allowed, but my parents are not allowing me to have a dog through college.
Well, we have one if you want it.
All right.
She barks loud. Great dog by herself, though. But was that your first choice, Coastal Carolina?
No, it was not going to be my first choice. I was going to go to USC in Columbia and follow my brother's footsteps.
There you go. Kurt, by the way, this guy is an entrepreneur to say the least. I think he was selling like sneaker keychains.
Sneaker keychains. He sold an Instagram account with 10,000 followers.
Wow. So this guy's an entrepreneur to say the least. So now he's working at a bank. He's got his business flow going on. Graduate of USC, the Gamecocks. And so you were going to go there. What happened?
Yes. When you take your ACT or your SAT, they let you fill out 3 schools that you're going to send the scores to automatically. And I saw USC Columbia in parentheses. So I was like, all right, that's a school. I did Coastal, I did Clemson. And then later I found out that USC Columbia is actually the University of South Columbia, not South Carolina. And I just got the email from South Carolina saying, we didn't get the required materials for your application, so we could not advance any further. And sorry, but you can apply for next year. And then I just went to Coastal.
There you go. So and you're going to. How was your freshman year there?
Good. I only had about 2 hard classes. But that was for my major classes were the hard
Right.
classes.
So were you living at home last year?
No, I lived on campus so I can meet new people. I didn't want it to be like high school.
Gotcha, 100%, dude. And this year you're going back out, new apartment.
New
Coming
apartment.
You got how many guys living there? Just you or?
Me, one of my friends, and some random kid that we don't know yet.
There you go. So you're definitely not a loner like me. I had Ryan in my dorm the first year in our dorm, and the second year I went back to the same dorm, and they were like, I was like, dude, I asked mom and dad, I was like, can you please pay a little extra or whatever it is to nobody? You know what I mean? So I guess I'm still that way today. I don't know. Maybe I have like social anxiety. It's from watching Khalil Green all those years.
Oh my, that guy is a weirdo in interviews.
I know, dude. We went to watch a Jason Aldean concert, and we were in Greenville where he lives, and literally went to Bacon Bros, public house, a little barbecue restaurant. It was freaking amazing, dude. Yeah, every time I'm there, I have to go there. But everywhere we went, every store, I'm looking around for Khalil Green. Like literally, head was on a swivel all day trying to find him. But they say he don't even contact Coach Leggett no more. He don't talk to anybody. Like literally has his family. They live somewhere in Greenville. Nobody knows where, and he says nothing. But I would love to sit down and talk with him. It'd be amazing.
I don't even know if you would be able to talk to him.
Yeah, I know, right? Because I know they put some kind of tracker or like a heart monitor on him, and they said like he would get like crazy anxiety, or heart rate would go crazy if he got a hit, even more than if he struck out, because he was trying to figure it out, because he struck out, he's pissed, whatever, but he got a hit and the hit wasn't good enough for him, or that the bat wasn't good enough, so he was so stressful in that. But I tell you, when he was out there, I know a lot of kids, especially kids listening, a lot of adults probably don't even know Khalil Green because he had such a short time. He was a graduate of Clemson, was National Player of the Year in college one year. Dude was phenomenal. But yeah.
If you're gonna watch defensive highlights, watch Khalil Green.
Oh, for sure. Always. There's one picture I always show. I don't know if you remember, but I showed you back in the day working.
His ass basically to the floor.
Oh, his ass was on the dirt almost, fielding a ground ball in spring training. Like, he was just a phenomenal guy to watch. And but Khalil, if you ever hear this, man, prayers to you. Hope everything's well, and give us a call. I would love to sit down. We don't have to be doing it on air. I just want to meet Khalil Green. But so we're at our we're at our dorm or our apartment at Coastal, and so you got one of your buddies. He graduated from your high school, or
yeah, he graduated from Carolina Forest. He went to National Guard right out of high school, so he's still a freshman, but he's going to be second semester freshman.
Gotcha. And I feel like we might need to change the name of the show from Natural Sponge and Friends to like baseball guys that got hurt, apparently. But Konnor Walters, like I said, was a stud. Growing up, could hit the baseball very far. Great hands, hell of a pitcher on the mound as well. We're at your high school. You're on varsity. When did you get hurt? Junior or senior year?
Junior year. I had 2 injuries. The junior year was my elbow. Like the bone ripped off my tendon. Like the tendon ripped the bone off because the tendon was stronger. And then later I injured my back because it just hurt when I swung.
Right. So what was it, the back injury? Do you know what it was called, or?
No clue. I think I just pulled something from swinging because I didn't stretch at all.
Yeah, gotta be
not
guy.
Flexible at all.
Right. And I was that guy at that age too. Like you, now being 31, and as much as I hurt every day, like I try to tell guys. Same way my coaches told me was, you're gonna appreciate when you're older. Like you gotta stretch, and that's 100% fact, because the more and more stretching I got into after my back injury, it actually did help a lot. And like we're talking with one of our guys we talk with pitching about all the time. He, the elasticity in the arm, he had labrum surgery and all that stuff. So it's tough, man. So, but you had the elbow. Now, did that end your junior year, or?
No, it didn't. It happened in the fall, so I couldn't go to any workouts, and it was the new coach, so I was kind of nervous that I wasn't going to make the team.
Right.
And then I had to wear a brace for about 3 months. It looked like one of those Rob Gronkowski braces.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Then...
Did you have surgery?
No, I didn't have to get surgery. That was the other option, but that would have ended junior year and half a senior year, and I was not doing that.
Right. Spoken like a true baseball player. So then you go in and you have the back issue. And at what point did that happen? At what point did you decide, hell, I'm just going to be a PO and throw the pill?
I wasn't starting at first base. I was just, if our first baseman went into pitch, I was our backup first baseman. I was fielder only. Basically, we would have someone DH for me. and which I was fine with because I didn't like hitting at that point. So at that point, I was just like, I'm just going to work on fielding and pitching, and when we all go to the cages, I'm just going to stand outside with all the POs anyway. And the coach didn't say a word to me about it.
And did that come from you mentally saying, like, you're just – because baseball players are weird. We are. But, you know, is that more of you saying, I'm done with hitting, or was that the injury that caused you to say, hey, I'm not even going to try to hit because it hurts like hell when I do hit?
I was done with hitting, honestly.
There you go.
I just
love the honesty.
Yeah, the first baseman that was in front of me, he's going D1, and he was definitely a better hitter than me.
Right.
So I'm not fielding wise, I could keep up with him.
Right.
I think I could keep up with just about anyone at first base at that point.
Right.
But hitting wise, he was a lot better than me.
So you had a huge growth spurt at some point, because you're shortstop for me, pitcher. Could play outfield. You played some first base for me, just because your glove was so good. You know, I mean, we at some points had some guys that were kind of suspect throwing the baseball across the field, and I needed a guy over there that I could trust to catch it. So, like, you played every position pretty much. Did you ever catch?
No, you guys wouldn't let me.
Did you want to?
I wanted just so I could play every position in 1 year.
Oh man, we should have done that.
No, Lee said no.
See, that was Lee J. See, I wasn't. If I would have done the Buster Posey deal, I'd have done it in one game. We had to figure out a way to do it in one game.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. But so you were a stud shortstop coming up, great hands, good arm, good pitcher, and obviously not obviously because we're not on video yet or anything. Guys can't see you, but big guy now, huge guy now. You were. I remember the first time I saw you after like a year up at Carolina Forest. I was talking to your dad and I was like, where's Konnor at? And he was like, he's right there. You were in the cage or you were walking to the dugout or something. I'm like, holy mess. This dude is enormous now. So when did that growth spurt happen?
Probably between either freshman and sophomore year or sophomore and junior year. I was about 5'7". I was the shortest in my friend group. And then I became the second tallest in my friend group.
There you go. So was that the growth spurt shift from shortstop to first, or was that like another one of your deciders of, hey, I'm going to go play first base now, or is that a coach's decision? Or
I thought that's where I would have the most opportunity to play.
Sweet. I love it, dude. So you go out, you become a PO. How'd you throw your senior year?
Senior year, I did good. I only had one error in the field. It was a bunt, and it was wet, and I just let it slip. But other than that, I pitched throughout the year. And I had control over my pitches. No problems with my arm, injuries, or anything.
Awesome. And the back didn't hurt either?
Not at all.
Awesome. So you're going out of college, or you're going out of high school, looking at colleges. I know, like we talked about downstairs, you had a couple offers to play, continue playing at the college level. What was the deciding factor in being able to, because I'm 31, and sometimes, I mean, you can ask my wife, dude, All-Star Week, I was salty, bro. I was still, like, I was probably hard to live with All-Star Week, just because I played with three guys that were on the All-Star team, played against them, and one guy, like, I beat him in everything. Growing up together, he was about 45 minutes down the road. I beat him if we played rec basketball, high school basketball, baseball. Like, there was no option. Like, I beat him in everything, and now he's an all-star, and it really pisses me off. And I was salty about it. So, how were you able to put the baseball down and continue on to college, but knowing you had some offers? I mean, you can speak on both.
It was more like I knew baseball wasn't going to be my future. I knew baseball wasn't going to be my future, and I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and Coastal had exactly what I wanted to do with intelligence and national security. But it was just my high school coach kind of ruined baseball for me at the end.
That's crazy. That's another whole deal we could get into, because you're not the first one to say that to me about that guy. So, yeah, we'll talk about that off air, and we'll talk about it on air one day. But that sucks. Yeah, coaches, man, they play a big part in what in how we grow and how we turn out, and our thought process about sports and life and all that stuff. What's your worst memory? We're going to end this on a good one. What's your worst memory of playing for me?
Playing for you?
Oh, this is going to be a sad. I hope he doesn't go too hard on me here.
I'm trying to think. I can't even. Oh,
see, no negatives
I have
here.
a lot of funny moments.
There we go. A lot of funny moments.
If we want to talk about some funny moments,
I think the 0-23. We lost 23 straight games one summer, but we ended the summer. We had a good team, dude, but we just had like every time. We didn't have a good team. We did not have a good team, so.
We had a few rough spots.
We had a lot of rough spots, but Konnor was shaking his head. And see, that is one of the things, and I meant to put this on some podcasts, but this is how it works out. I like doing a lot of these at one time or in a short span because Horry County Baseball, they went down Palmetto games, and they lost 13-1 and 12-1. And I know, and I work with some of the guys that were on there. I think it was like 6 or 7 guys I've worked with, and I was so pumped to watch them play. And BP, he's like, man, oh, they're stacked. I said, whoa. Let's think about this. Just because you know a guy and you have worked out with him in the past or whatever, don't put him on a professional level. Don't say, all right, he's a stud because I work out with him or I work with him or whatever. Like, and he was like, well, I guess, yeah, they're probably going to get killed. Because Horry County Baseball, when I started the Wizards, we're going 2-2, 1-3, 2-2, 1-3, 0-4, 0-4, 0-4, 2-2, 1-3. You know, we got a couple of championships, but that's the ones that nobody entered the tournament. But guys did get better, and a lot of guys are playing college baseball now. And but a buddy of mine called me, and he's like, dude, how the hell are y'all losing all the time? Like he had seen me coach, he knew me as a player. Like, he's like, I know they're getting their work in. I know you're running a tight ship. You're doing, like, college-style practices, all this stuff. And I said, look, he goes, the guy goes, isn't Myrtle Beach a hotbed for baseball? I said, boom, 100%. It is a hotbed for baseball because everybody can come here and play and take a vacation at the same time. But it is not a hotbed for baseball talent. You go up to Columbia, you go out towards Florence, Hartsville area, you go out to those places, like those guys are the real deal. And I don't remember which team won the Palmetto games, but it was either the Columbia area or the whatever is more out west or whatever that region was.
Columbia area considered River Bluff and all those schools?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won there.
Chapin, River Bluff.
Yeah,
and Cam Farrell was there.
I stay in touch with Cam every once in a while.
He's also got to see him this weekend and see his dad and everything. It was great, man. He fireball. I was texting Kevin the other day. His dad, we're talking about getting Cam on here at some point. That'd be awesome. But yeah, it's just it's a different world. But since you heard Konnor Walters say that there was no negative moments, I'm just kidding. but no, what was some of the moments you remember from playing with us? And Lee J was one of our coaches. He actually helped me. Him and Jacob Russell helped me start the Diamond Wizards, and Lee J coached the 13U team whenever I had showcase games somewhere else with the older guys. So what did you? What's some of the memories you have?
Jake Russell. Shout out to him. I like him a lot, actually.
The Rust. We talked beer yesterday. He texted me after hearing the podcast and was like, all right, IPA thing versus Busch Light, Keystone Light. I agree 100%. You could drink 20 IPAs, and the guy's like, oh, he's tasting. He's a beer taster. He's a connoisseur. You drink one natural light, and you're like, oh, he's a drunk. It makes no sense. And he's a beer delivery guy now. And he's over here talking to me about stouts and lauts and pilsners and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, if it tastes good, I'm going to drink it, brother.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
But no, his advice to us, I think we were probably during the 0-23 streak or 0-24, whatever it was. I think he just said to us, throw strikes and hit the effing ball. That's all he would say to us after every game or before every game. That was a big thing. I remember him. And Lee J, before every game, he would run down to the foul pole and then come back as fast as he could and just go crazy.
And do like flips and stuff.
Yeah. Or when the foul ball went out, he would just scream, "That's our ball!
That's our ball!" That's perfect, dude. But I remember a lot of times. I mean, that first team we put together was not bad. Had those Conway guys on it and stuff. And Tonka Hemingway, he's going to play football at USC. His brother played for the Kansas City Chiefs football.
Yeah, junior.
Like
Dylan Haynes.
Dylan Haynes, yeah. I mean, and I always can't remember. Wasn't the one kid
Peyton Barnhill?
Peyton Barnhill, that's it. I knew it was a Barnhill. I've been trying to figure out what it was for a while. Cannot remember. I hadn't looked back in my list and everything, but yeah, Peyton Barnett, he could throw the baseball hard, dude. And that little Lewis.
Oh yeah, the one that said he hit his chicken with the baseball and it knocked him
Yeah.
out. Clay, right?
Clay Lewis, yeah,
Clay.
yeah. We called him Cassius Clay.
Yes.
Cassius Clay Lewis. That's awesome. So, to college though, you had a couple offers, and how were you able to put down the baseball?
I did not want to play anymore.
I
I miss pitching. That's the one thing I do miss. I don't miss fielding. Don't miss hitting, but being able to go up there and pitch against someone who thinks they can get the hit off you and just slap it around,
right,
and then just putting them back on the bench. It's
right.
a nice feeling.
Do you think that goes with how many games you played, how much work you put in growing up, and just being a single sport athlete? Because like we said on one of the podcasts I heard the stat that youth baseball is the number one self-esteem destroying sport in America. Do you think it was just longevity of how much work you put in, or do you think it's just you were kind of just done?
No, because I didn't mind the work, especially towards the end when it was just pitching. It was pretty easy work, besides the fact that I didn't stretch, which was probably what I should have done.
Did you do bands?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Before practice, before I threw, I would always do the bands. But it was just, I don't blame it on my dad or any of my coach. Well, besides one coach.
Right.
But like
that's not me, by the way.
No, not John. But that wasn't a self-esteem issue for me at all. Like, I would hear my dad from the crowd if I made an error. Come on, what are you doing? And I was like, okay. Yep, there he is.
Yeah, he's still here. Pops is still here. So going into old Kenny, love Kenny. I saw him at Home Depot like a month ago. Or no, it's lower than that now. 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Right around installing some floors at the time, and saw him, talked to him briefly in the truck, and is Kenny, because we're going to touch more on the national intelligence, blah, 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 you said. This guy's smart over here, by the way. The Walters are all smart. Kenny was a police officer in New York City, right? Was it NYPD?
Yes, sir.
He was the guy they talk about on the shows and all that, NYPD. Yeah. Kenny Walters, big guy, big teddy bear. I love the guy. He's awesome. Never been nothing but nice and great to me and my family, and obviously it seems like a tremendous dad. Is that one of the reasons you want to go into that field? And explain to everybody again what exactly what you're wanting to go into with your major in college.
My dad definitely plays a big role. I liked what he did and how he was able to live his life and how he lives it now. Being able to retire, come down to Myrtle Beach or somewhere like this, and be able to live a good life. And then for Intel and National Security, right now for my classes, I'm learning more about the history of all the different branches. I think there's like 16 or 17 Intel branches. Wow. Each branch of the military has one, wow. FBI, all that. And then I'm going to be able to, I might have to start off as a cop, or I can go into the military, and I'm going to try to be a U.S. Marshal.
Right. And see, that's funny. Me and Konnor, it's that 23 thing, dude. That's actually what I wanted to do growing up and into college, finding majors, was be a U.S. Marshal. And then, and no offense to any policeman at all. I, stand behind all the policemen that put their lives on the line every day. I didn't want to spend the time as a cop. And I guess now at 31, you're like, I wish I would have done that. Just to be able to grow and go up the ladder. And I'm always, obviously, if you guys haven't learned yet that listen, I'm not a guy that thinks that ladders exist. I'm not going up a ladder. I called a college today. This morning I called a university. Baseball job is open. And it's somewhere it's close to me and I know the situation. I called him and said, look, I understand this guy just left. I want the job. What do we do? And the assistant AD, she's like, well, I think we have a plan. I'm like, well, no, we're not. There's no thinking. We have a plan in place. That's not what this university needs. We need somebody to come in, change the culture, get it back to winning baseball, and take this university to the College World Series. And she's just like stunned. You know what I mean? But I get it. You got to go up the ladder. I'm not a ladder guy. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
But so would that be a field job, or would that be like a desk job, or what else does this Intel do, and how is Coastal going to be able to help you reach that.
Right now, I don't think there's a lot of schools that offer just intelligence and national security. I think there's only like 6 on the East Coast, honestly, and a lot of people come from out of state for the program, besides marine science, which is the other big one at Coastal. But right now, I just worked on like analysis and like writing actual briefings, so it could be a desk job if I wanted it to. Like I had to read about China and their expansion in the South China Sea and how they're being more militarized in that area and how it could affect the United States, all that. It's not exactly fun at all times, but it's very interesting in my opinion.
Right. Are you a Criminal Minds guy, like the show? I've
watched a few episodes. I never really got into it. I'm more of a comedy guy. I have to be entertained through comedy.
There you go. I love that. That's funny. It's the baseball part of you again. I'm telling you, like every guy's the same. But we started watching Criminal Minds, and I knew when it was on TV, and everybody laughs at me because when we watch it, me and Megan watch it, and it's like, I'm like, this show was never on TV because it's so good and the stuff and like that branch of the government and everything they have to do, and it's awesome, dude. It's adrenaline rush. I can definitely see you getting that, to that part of the FBI and doing all that, dude. So would it be a deal where you have to be like jacked and carry a gun? You gotta learn how to shoot a gun at the end of the day and all that stuff?
Yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna have to learn how to shoot a gun and all that. My original plan was I want to be a federal air marshal. I thought that was gonna be the easiest job ever.
Right.
A good salary.
Right.
And when's the last time you've heard of a plane terrorist attack besides 9/11?
Right.
But then I heard that they're starting to reduce the number of federal air marshals, so I wouldn't be able to do that as easily.
Gotcha.
But that would have been the life.
That would be sick.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. What is that? What's that movie? Bridesmaids, where the girl. You ever watch that movie? Is it Bridesmaids?
I don't.
Oh,
never
man.
Watched it.
It's funny. You're a comedy guy. You need to watch it. It actually is pretty funny because the lady craps in her pants in her wedding dress in the street. But no, there's a U.S. Marshal on the airplane, and he's sitting there like she's trying to hook up with him, whatever, blah blah. And, it's hilarious, dude, because he ends up like, I'm not an air marshal. And she's like, yes, you are. I know you are. He's like, no, I'm not a U.S. Marshal, ma'am. I'm just going to see my family or something. And eventually something happens in the back of the plane. He gets up, shows his badge. She's like, I knew it. Like, it's funny, though. So what was the how long have you guys lived down here? Because I met you right when you moved down from New York, right?
Yeah, I played with the Stars almost instantly. We wanted to find a baseball team.
Right.
But I think it was 2013. I was going into 7th grade, so either 2012 2013.
Gotcha. I think you're dead on because I started the Wizards in 13, so probably around that same time.
I think my first tournament with the Stars, I ended up playing the tournament with my team, and then I think I went up to your team.
Right.
With Hampton and all that.
Yep, for sure. So what was the move like? Why was there a move? How was New York? Where did you guys live?
I loved where I was in New York. I'm still friends with all my buddies there. I go up, hang out with them. But it's basically what it is here, just colder and way more expensive.
Gotcha. So I know everybody talks about the price. That's crazy. I mean, everybody's like the salaries are way more up there. You can make a ton of money, but the cost of living is ridiculous.
It's absolutely insane.
And they just passed another thing too with some other like a lot of people got tax breaks except for Jersey, New York, and like Illinois or something. It's insane, dude. So what was why the move though?
I think my parents were just done with the cold weather and living in Mount Sinai or New York in general.
Gotcha.
They just wanted to move down warm weather.
Were you on board with the move?
No,
not
at all. I loved where I lived.
Gotcha. What about Kurt?
No, Kurt was going into sophomore year, going into junior year. He was not happy with that at all.
Right.
But we both found our friend groups and everything down here, and we're all good.
Yeah.
We like it now. I like it more here now than I did up there.
Gotcha. So it worked out for the best?
Yeah, especially with colleges. I think colleges was a lot better for South Carolina.
If you were up there, what college would you have gone to? What do you think?
Probably Stony Brook.
Stony Brook?
Yeah.
I used to play with them on a basketball game, I think. They D1?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to play with them on like an NCAA basketball game, like 04 sometimes.
But also, if I stayed up there, I would have been 3 sports probably. Because I did play football up there.
Right.
I played basketball up there.
You were a quarterback?
Yes.
Okay, so he would walk in with his basketball, his baseball stuff, and a football, not his reindeer. So he would the football. Because I remember that. And I remember when you did not try out for
middle school
football. Yeah, middle school football down here. And I think your dad was kind of crushed a little bit because he figured you would.
Well, my dad was football, baseball all the way. He played basketball, but football, baseball was his two big sports through school. And he probably wanted me to do it.
Did you play lacrosse up there at all?
Yes, lacrosse is one of the most fun sports ever, and don't listen to any baseball player.
Oh, dude, no, I'm a lacrosse guy all day.
It's one of the easiest sports too.
Really?
Yes. Don't let lacrosse players tell you it's hard. It's a very easy sport to play.
I would never forget at Mars Hill. We would come out of our locker room, and there was always the training room and all that's right there. And then we would come out there to practice, and there would be a lacrosse game getting started, lacrosse practice, whatever it was. And they had their mouthpieces in boiling water on this little thing, right? Because you have to mold it and all that. These guys would take their hands, bro. Most of them were from Maryland, New York, Chicago, and Jersey. Like the whole squad. We were like had a hell of a lacrosse team. And they would come out and they would take their hand and put it in the boiling water to get the mouthpiece out, put it directly in their mouth, and the guy behind them that was about to get it would like either punch them or slap the shit out of them in the face. They're like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, oh my Lord. Yeah. I'm walking out here like limping because I took 20 ground balls yesterday, and this guy's punching his buddy in the face and loving it. Yeah, like it is crazy.
It's an awesome sport. You get to just hit the shit out of people.
Hey, if you look right here on the wall, Carolina Hitmen lacrosse right there. My guy Rob, he's the head coach and all that down here in South Carolina, and he's from up north, and he's running a hell of a program down here. And so right on the wall behind us here in the podcast room, we have Carolina Hitmen sign. I told him I was going to swipe it off the side of the road, so now he knows that one sign is missing and it's right here. But we had to do it. But yeah, lacrosse is incredible.
Yeah, one of my buddies, a few of my buddies went to college for lacrosse, but one of my buddies scored a game-winning goal for his team to win the MAC Conference Championship. He went D1 for Marist.
Nice.
Shout out to JoJo Pareto.
Nice. Well, that's where Shawnee Lomas went, Marist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He went there and played baseball and basketball, and then went played just baseball at Maryland. Like I had no idea that I think I'd heard of Marist, I guess, growing up, but I didn't know that until I met Sean. Like Marist was like a big time D1 school up there. Like they got going on. So real quick before we get done with this, I think I may have messed up a little bit of the audio, but either way, it's still going to come out all right, and it's going to be online here in just a little bit. And it might sound better the way I did it today, so that's good. We're learning as we go. That's why I stared at the computer earlier like crap, but we're good to go. As long as those things are bouncing up and down, we're getting recorded, buddy. So steroids in baseball. Should Barry Bonds be in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
Yes, 100%.
Pete Rose.
100%. That's not that one. Is still
there we go. Go ahead.
Very annoying.
Why?
He can't determine a player. Like I know he bet on the game. That's weird. Not allowed. One player does not determine if you win or lose that game, and you can't say that he was throwing games or anything like that when he's the all-time hit leader for U.S. only.
100%. And if you look at even when he coached, like betting on games, there's like he's not playing. There's nothing he can. Maybe he bunted one time to get an out or something, but like these guys are still gonna. You don't know when the guy's gonna go yard. You don't know when the guy's gonna go to the mound. It's crazy to me. Steve Hester, Steve from Myrtle Beach. Anybody that listens to the Bad Boy Sports Radio down here, the Bad Boy Alan Smothers. He 100.3 FM. He was putting on Facebook last night talking to me. He wants to get on and talk about the Bonds and Pete Rose and all that stuff. And I'm like, for sure, dude. And he's like, Pete Rose, no. Barry Bonds, yes, because he bet on games. You can't do that. And I get it. I'll listen to anybody, but in my opinion, bro, I'm with you. Like, there is absolutely no reason that Pete Rose should not be in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
He's one of the best. I can't.
It's not the Morality Hall of Fame, right? No. And at the time with Bonds taking juice, I took juice in college, right? So we're gonna put that out there so nobody come back and say anything to me about that one. But I juiced in college because you had to. It was like day one, and somebody was like, "Hey, Elsenbeck, what's your order?" I'm like, "Do what?" It's like, "What's your order?" I'm calling my guy. Do what? What are you talking about? And I noticed that every dude that I learned that was on it was hitting the ball 450 feet every day, and they were the starters. You know, and Coach by no means he didn't know they were doing it. He knew they were jacked because every time he saw them, they were in the weight room. You know what I mean? But that was the time frame. steroids was not illegal in Major League Baseball when Barry Bonds did it.
Not also that, he still could hit any ball that you threw at him. There's jack guys now that can't really hit the ball. Dan Uggla was huge for no reason. Absolutely no reason at all.
His biceps were the size of my fat thighs.
Exactly.
And that's my whole point when it all came out, man, was he still got to hit the slider, hit a cutter, hit a changeup, hit a 120 or 102 mile an hour fastball. It's crazy. Like I hate the way they do the Baseball Hall of Fame because you have guys that are writers, beat writers, and everybody that has their vote are all part of the press. They're the ones that are controlling who is in the Hall of Fame. That makes zero sense. I think we should have a player vote, not necessarily a player vote now, because kids coming into the league are so young, but every Hall of Famer should have a vote. I don't know if they do or not, but every Hall of Famer should have a vote of the next class, and every guy that played at least, let's say, 5 years in the major league should have a vote, and screw all the press writers. It makes no sense.
It doesn't at all.
So you're an NBA guy?
Of course. Celtics. Big Celtics
guy. My man, JT. Tatum, baby.
Yep.
So Kyrie kind of came in and messed that all up, didn't he?
I don't care. Kyrie left. He's going to have the same finish with the Nets that they did last year. Celtics are going to have the same finish that they had last year.
Yeah, 100%.
The East is going to stay exactly what it was, except maybe the Raptors might fall.
Yeah, I think they will. But yeah, I meant that in a way where like he came in and kind of screwed up what they had going on. Because when he got hurt, Terry was at point.
Scary Terry.
That's it, dude. He was a stud. I love the Celtics. And they were rock and rolling, dude. Kyrie comes back. And if you look at it, my dad said this not long ago. If you look at it, Kyrie played 9 games at Duke. Still Blue Devil, go Duke. But he played 9 games at Duke. Nolan Smith was averaging like 34 a game. Listen to this, 34 points a game while Kyrie was out. He moved over from point guard to shooting guard when Kyrie came in. Kyrie gets hurt after 8 games because he came back and played the one that we lost to freaking, who was it?
Not a Duke guy at all.
You suck. It was one of their upsets. That's why I forget it. It was a first round upset, like the 15 over a 2.
He's still number 1 overall pick. That
Right.
has to say something about the guy.
Right, exactly. But he comes back and they lose the first game he's back. Nolan scored like 12. And then he does this thing. I love him because he kind of, everybody doesn't want to remember it or believe it, but like when he's the one that won that championship in Cleveland. I don't care what anybody says. You agree with that?
I think they don't win without LeBron still.
For sure.
Yeah, it's just I think LeBron was a bigger part, but Kyrie hit the shot.
He hit the shot.
Put the dagger.
He hit the shot, the big dagger too. And I loved, I love Kyrie, but then he goes to Celtics and he has a great year, and everybody's like, if y'all have me back, I'll re-sign. And he's starting to act like LeBron and all that stuff he does, and act like, I understand it's got to be tough being a professional athlete with everything you have to do and expected of you. But at the end of the day, brother, you're dribbling a basketball and playing basketball for a crap load of money. Enjoy it. Don't add stress. And I'm glad that they put every NBA team now has to have a
mental health
professional on
That's
the
because
staff.
I'm pretty sure that's all because of Kevin Love.
Kevin is awesome, dude. It's awesome. I think that's where that's where my buddy that passed away, I think if he had somebody like that just to talk to, it would have helped. I know my family, a lot of my family members go to a mental health person once a week with some stuff that they have going on in their personal lives and our life. And, I think it's big this day and age. And we talked about in the first practice podcast we did with Ethan Lester. Do you think a lot of it stems from social media?
Yes, but I think the thing about social media is that someone says they have it, and then someone's like, ooh, I think I experienced that one time, and then they go down the rabbit hole and they think they have
Agreed.
it. And I think it's
a never-ending cycle.
On the board. Everyone's just hopping on.
Yeah, because everybody, no matter if it's good or bad, everybody wants to feel a part of something.
And I bet you do experience some of these things, but social anxiety, it's more than just not wanting to go to a party because you might not have anyone to talk to.
Right.
There's a lot more to it than just that, and people just have the party aspect and say, I have social anxiety.
Right.
And they put themselves into that.
Right. That's what I was saying this weekend. I went to the Palmetto games, and walking back into the baseball, like kind of what I used to be, and as a college coach, as a player, everything kind of comes rushing back. Hands are numb and tingling. I'm sweating. Heartbeat is racing. Like you can't breathe. And it affects you. And everybody, things affect people differently in every different way. But I agree with you 1,000%. If you don't actually feel that way, like I say this, I think I've said this on every podcast so far, and it's going to get repetitive, and it's fine. But I follow this thing, and I'm going to delete it here in a little bit. I follow this thing called Dude, Where's My Par on Facebook. And it's just a golfing thing. I started golfing last year. Not bad at it. It's fun to get out, drink some beer, hit some golf balls. It's awesome. It's amazing. And like literally a guy said, I have a 30 handicap. Here's a video of me. Tell me what you see good and bad. And like dudes start roasting him about being gay. Start roasting him about what shoes he's wearing, his socks. And I'm talking, it gets literally, even me being so crazy as I've been in my past and just the way my brain thinks is like they're roasting this guy, like literally killing this guy for no reason. And it gets old. And it's like, dude, why is everything so negative? Let's be more positive and just, I think that's what we're getting to with social media. It's just a double-edged sword. It's great in ways we can be able to do this and talk about it and get stories out to guys. It's also horrible for like the teenager that is thinking about committing suicide and then somebody says, hey, do it. You won't do it. And
yeah.
It's tough.
But
it's tough.
It's hard because a lot of kids my age, something minute happens to them and they just go, damn, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
And obviously they don't mean it.
Right.
But people just don't think it's something to joke about.
Right. And I think I've gotten to that point, especially from Ryan and stuff I've experienced throughout my life, is if a guy says, I'm going to kill myself, he's not going to do it. If he says he is, and I may be wrong, I'm sure there's people out there that told you there were signs and blah, blah, but I'm more worried about the people that are quiet, the people that don't say anything. So pray for everybody. That's the thing, dude. As always, I have to ask this before we finish up here. Have you taken CBD? Do you know what CBD is?
No, I know what it is. My dad we're trying to get my dad to take it, I think.
It's awesome. My mom and dad got some from, and Chandra, I'm telling you, you got to listen to this and shoot us some cash over here or something, baby girl. Because I got to shout out the store in Surfside every time. Hipsy Gypsy is a tremendous store. You got incense, you got CBD, you got Grateful Dead shirts, you got, just that relaxing peace, love, happiness little store. And the owner, Chandra, she's an amazing person. That's where we get our CBD from. And I actually got a bud you could smoke CBD. And it is the greatest thing. My mom and dad actually got some. And I saw it last time I was over there. I saw the little vial sitting over there. And it was, some of it was going. I was proud of Pops. Arthritis, and all that stuff. And back pain with me and anxiety with me. It helps, dude. It helps. And I know, I don't know. Where's Kurt on that? Because I know Kurt's big into stuff like that. Is he into legalizing marijuana? Has he tried CBD or?
I think I don't know if he has any problems with CBD. I don't think he does. I think maybe he's tried it. I don't know. But I don't know about the weed. He doesn't smoke weed or anything. Right. None of us do. But I think he's fine with legalizing it if it's done. It's going to be hard to do it though.
Oh, it is 100%. I think, like I said, the first one, I think if it's looked at in a dosage format, like if it's prescribed and you take this much or you smoke this much or if it's an edible or whatever it is and you do it in a dosage format that helps you without the government, the pharmaceutical companies putting crap together in a lab and taking it's going to hurt you and getting you addicted. I think if you do it and somehow, there's a way. If you can figure out how to do it in a dosage format or something, the world will be a better place.
So you mean medicinal, not just recreational?
Yeah, medicinal.
Oh,
medicinal. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Medicinal 100% should be legal.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a way you can just say recreational. But let's face it, dude. If you go in like, oh, my back hurts, and you go to your doctor, she writes you a prescription, you go get your medical marijuana. I don't think it. I don't know. I think it's all positives. I think it's a plant that got put here, and it's got benefits for some reason. And,
Yes.
But the CBD, I didn't know if you took it or not. But because Kenny had a lot of not health issues, but he has
his knee issues.
Knee issues. That's what it was. I knew it was something.
The 2 full knee replacements now.
Wow, that's got to be tough.
He has nerve damage
right
from the accident. And
that's good. What accident?
When he was a cop, someone didn't stop at a stop sign, I think, and he had to jam on the brakes, and his knee jammed up into the steering wheel, and it messed up his whole sciatic.
Gotcha. I feel his pain, brother, on that one.
But I think we're getting him to do CBD because he has restless leg syndrome.
Gotcha.
You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he's trying to sleep, it pisses my mom off enough that she wants him to try to take it.
See, I snore too much, so that's. But yeah. If he seriously, tell him to call me, dude, or call Chandra over there because it's the Koi. What I've done a lot of research on it. The Koi is like the brand that's super pure. It's like no BS about it, not gas station stuff, or whatever. Like this is legit stuff.
If you think gas station CBD is real CBD,
yeah, you're tripping. You get some gummies in there. There's no telling what you're about to put
exactly.
But no, it's awesome, dude. It's helped me a ton, and I just for some reason I think it's just there's so many benefits to it. I'm gonna ask every guy that comes on, about the CBD. And
I don't really think there's anything I would need to take it for.
Right.
I heard
you're still healthy.
Yeah, it puts you into like a euphoric state. I heard for the CBD.
Well, that might be if you're eating mushrooms with it or something.
That's what I was told. Euphoric state of your body.
Yeah, it does relax. It relaxes me muscle wise, tense wise. It helps my back. I went to the doctor not long ago to get a refill for an inhaler, and I left there thinking I was dying because she was like, you have arthritis, right? I'm like, well, I figured my hands can't really work anymore. They're crooked and they hurt all the time, so I figured. And she was like, said something else, and went to a different doctor last week actually, and my blood pressure was good. She didn't say nothing about my arthritis, so yeah, I'm still kicking, dude.
Exactly.
You got anything else, bro? Anything you want to get out on here? It's I've loved having you on, dude. Are you a Croc guy? No Crocs. I got my first pair of Crocs last week, and I am forever. Went to the zoo this weekend with the girls. And with my girls, and I wore them the whole time, better than any pair of Nikes I ever wore.
No, I can't. I just can't.
After
seeing my dad.
That's how I was. Does he wear them?
Yeah.
Kenny's a man, dude. I'm telling you. We need to get Kenny on. Tell some little cop stories. Be awesome.
Yeah, he has some good ones.
So, all right. Last question I have for you, buddy. We're gonna end this deal here. You gotta get to work soon. The new baseball rule: you can steal first base. What the hell is going on in our world, buddy?
It's stupid. How does it happen?
So the first guy did it. The first guy to ever record a stolen first base.
In what league?
They're doing it in the not Northwoods League. That's a summer league. The Northern Independent League or whatever that is. The Independent Bowl.
Okay.
And that's where Major League Baseball tries out all their future rule changes. So they've bought the league so they can try a bunch of shit there with the pitch clock, with the replay, with all that stuff. They even tried doing the no umpire, and they have like the technology to see if it's a ball or strike, all that stuff.
All right.
So they try everything in this league, and so what it is, I think it was 0-1 count, first batter of the game that you can try it out in. Next pitch was in the dirt, shot off the catcher, and the kid stole first. He just took off running, and he was safe at first.
So if it's any dirt ball?
Any ball that's not caught cleanly by the catcher, you can move up on to first base if you want. If the catcher gets a baseball and throws it like a regular ground ball or a drop third strike and gets you out at first base, you're out. And I don't know if it makes you 0 for 1 on the day, or there's no way in hell he's 1 for 1 on the day now. So he's 0 for 0 with a stolen first base.
What, do you have to tag him if you're trying to throw him out at first? Then?
No, I think it's like a force. It's like a ground ball to short.
Okay, it's still force out. At least that. It's a stupid rule, but at least I have that.
Yeah, it's like, why? I love it, Tucker. I asked Tucker that question. Tucker's like, I've been on base a lot more. Like,
honestly,
could you imagine that some way down the road? Hopefully, we are both dead and going for this one, because if not, I'll put us in our grave. Like all these travel ball tournaments.
I've seen some of the catchers that are at these travel ball
tournaments. Pitchers.
Yes.
You would have to have a 7-hour.
You're gonna have about 3 stolen first bases within the first inning.
Oh man, it would be crazy. So, as we get off here, just saw it on ESPN over here in the room. You excited to watch Zion play? You a Zion fan?
Yes, I did.
I love it, dude.
I had a question. My buddy asked me a question. He's like, "Who do you think was better in their rookie year, or who do you think is going to be better, LeBron out of high school or Zion out of Duke?" It's LeBron all the way.
Oh, 100%. It's got to be. LeBron is a different guy, though. It's like comparing LeBron to MJ. He's different. You compare him to Kobe, they're still different. If you want to talk about all-time best, that's a whole discussion. I would pick Kobe. Are you a LeBron guy?
100%.
There you go. And that was your time, though. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, MJ was a stud. LeBron is a stud. Kobe's a stud. Zion, I know he's going to make noise. I hope the shot's there. I hope the handles are there. I hope, because he's a terrific kid, and I hope that, nothing but the best for him. But I'm telling y'all, watch out for my boy Cam Reddish. He's going to be the steal of the draft. That little dude can shoot it, boy. And he's got that little Kevin Durant about him. That he's tall, lanky. He's actually taller than Zion and RJ. And he can play, though. But, yeah, so a LeBron guy all day.
100%.
You love the Taco Tuesday stuff?
No, it's the corniest thing ever.
See, that's why I don't like LeBron. I like watching LeBron on the court.
Yeah,
he can play. He can ball. I hate all the stuff he does off the field. The court.
I don't, because he does good things with his time.
The school.
Yeah, stuff like that.
It's been open a year
awesome.
now.
Yeah,
and I read back through it. I'm like, holy crap, that's
the kind of stuff he does off the court. That's why I don't get why people don't like him in general. Like, some people are just like, oh, I don't like him.
Yeah. He's trying to do good.
Exactly.
He's corny, but he does good.
Oh, he's super corny. So. Taco Tuesday. I hate
Taco Tuesday.
Most annoying thing.
He had Anthony Davis over.
He did? For Taco Tuesday?
For Taco Tuesday. I saw him on the thing, on one of his Twitters or his tweets. So, when do you start school?
August 21st.
Dude, we wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, as you go forward. Thanks for coming on with us today.
It's no problem. It's a pleasure.
Oh, man, good to catch back up with you. Make sure you tell all your coastal friends. We need to get you a shirt. Wear that to class one day. And we'll get you a couple shirts to throw out to some biddies out there. Tell other friends to
at the basketball game.
That's it, dude. Throw them out. Tell everybody, watch. We need some little natural sponge.
Yeah. Sneak them in the cannon real quick.
That's it, dude. Shoot them out to everybody. It'd be sick. But again, I want to make sure we end the day with at Cure Gervais on Twitter. Make sure you check that out. Hipsy Gypsy down in Surfside, Pickled Cucumber in Surfside. Shirts. Make sure you guys email us if you want some shirts. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts as well. At Natural Sponge 23 on everything. naturalsponge23 at gmail.com for email on that. Make sure you guys are listening. Make sure you guys stay vibed. Yeah.